till your father gets home.
Long before The Simpsons or Family Guy, a 1970s cartoon from Hanna-Barbera, the studio behind Scooby-Doo, was already paving the way for adult animation. It was a primetime series that played like an animated All in the Family, with a unique look designed by a cartoonist from Playboy magazine. It tackled the era's most controversial topics and even secretly replaced a famous child actor mid-run without anyone noticing. You might think you know 70s cartoons, but you've probably never heard the full weird story of Wait Till Your Father Gets Home. Today we're digging up the surprising facts about the forgotten classic that set the stage for adult animation as we know it.
So he made a little mistake.
No, we made the mistake and it wasn't little. 22 years ago, you gave birth to a time bomb.
In the early 1970s, Hanna-Barbera was the king of Saturday morning cartoons, like the Flintstones and Scooby-Doo. But live-action TV was changing, with sitcoms tackling real-world issues, and the studio wanted in. The idea for Wait Till Your Father Gets Home first appeared as a segment on the anthology series Love American Style. It was a surprise hit and was greenlit for a full primetime series in 1972.
My name is Harry Boyle. I'm an average American guy. I love my wife.
This wasn't a typical cartoon. It was one of the first animated sitcoms made for a mature audience, focusing on dialogue over action. In fact, it was so different that it baffled some of the studio's own artists.
On Friday night, everyone, I repeat, everyone will be going to the lodge dinner and no exception.
It became Hanna-Barbera's most popular primetime show after The Flintstones, and the first since to last more than one season. It would be nearly 20 years before The Simpsons achieved a similar success.
Good. Okay. Simpson.
You might say you caught him red-handed.
So where did this radical idea come from? Not from animation, but from the groundbreaking sitcom All in the Family.
He's staying on it.
Daddy, that's what a fellowship means.
That's what a fellowship means.
Hanna-Barbera saw how Norman Lear's show resonated with audiences and decided to create their own animated version. The parallels are clear. The show centers on Harry Boyle, a good-hearted but conservative father bewildered by the changing world, voiced by Tom Bosley, who would soon become Mr. Cunningham on Happy Days. Like Archie Bunker, Harry was often frustrated by his liberal children, hippie son Chet, feminist daughter Alice, and the younger, money-focused Jamie.
What a phony act.
I found out they pick people right off the street and pay them $5 to say those things.
But Harry was a gentler, more suburban version of Archie. He wasn't loud and prejudiced, just a decent dad trying to understand a world that seemed to be spinning out of control.
What am I supposed to do? You try to get $6.45, and they make nothing but trouble.
If the show's concept was a departure, its visual style was an even wilder leap. Hanna-Barbera wanted a look that was gritty, edgy, and distinctly adult, nothing like the Flintstones. So, they hired Marty Murphy, a cartoonist celebrated for his work in Playboy magazine. Murphy's style was loose, angular, and had a sharp, caricature-like quality perfect for satirizing suburbia. For a studio known for kids' shows, hiring an artist from Playboy was a delicate signal. This cartoon was not for Saturday morning. The result was a visual identity that perfectly matched the show's mature, dialogue-driven comedy.
I don't know. I don't think I could ever get used to mowing the lawn wearing a parachute.
But the mountains are so pretty, Harry.
A show built on dialogue needs a phenomenal voice cast, and this one delivered. At the head of the family, it was Tom Bosley as Harry, a role he took just before becoming TV royalty on Happy Days. His warm, exasperated voice made Harry instantly relatable.
Ralph, Rappaport voted for me, and my name is Boyle.
Voicing his wife, Irma, was voice acting legend Joan Gerber. The show also followed live-action sitcoms by featuring big-name guest stars. Comedic legends like Don Knotts and Phyllis Diller lent their voices to one-off characters, adding a layer of prestige that was rare for animation at the time. Now for a piece of trivia even dedicated fans might have missed. It concerns the youngest son, Jamie. For the first season, Jamie was voiced by a young Jackie Earle Haley, who would later earn an Oscar nomination for Little Children and become famous as Rorschach in Watchmen. But here's where it gets interesting. Partway through the show's run, the role was quietly taken over by another famous child actor, Willie Aames, who would soon become a teen idol on 8 is Enough and Charles in Charge. The transition was so smooth that the audience never noticed. It's a remarkable detail connecting this 70s cartoon to two future Hollywood stars.
That's why it came down. It was a molar, and I think it's worth a quarter.
Speaking of surprising facts, if you're enjoying this trip down memory lane, do us a favor and hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into television history. Let us know in the comments, did you know about the secret actor swap for Jamie? We'd love to hear from you. Wait Till Your Father Gets Home wasn't just adult in its time slot, it was adult in its DNA. The show fearlessly dove into some of the most controversial topics of the early 70s. The writers used the Boyle family to explore the culture wars, with Harry's old-school patriotism constantly clashing with his children's progressive views. But it went deeper, directly tackling the rise of feminism through the outspoken daughter Alice. It also explored anti-war sentiment, communal living, and even Cold War paranoia through their unhinged neighbor Ralph, who was always on the lookout for a communist invasion.
When they make their move to overthrow the government, we'll handle them.
Who?
Them.
Them?
Why don't you read the papers? The commies and the mafia have gotten together with the Jews, your Negroes, and your Puerto Ricans. The Japanese and Mexicans are in on it, too. Along with the liberals, the Catholics, everybody on welfare, and of course all them college kids and what we call you hippie.
While always funny, the show never backed away from serious issues, making it feel incredibly bold and relevant.
I miss all the fun.
Did you see the picture of the mugger? He's only a kid.
Yeah, 18 years old.
After 48 episodes, the series ended in 1974 with one of the strangest crossovers in TV history. The final episode, Car 54, featured a guest appearance from Officer Gunter Toody of the classic 1960s sitcom Car 54, Where Are You? That's right, a 70s cartoon crossed over with a black and white sitcom that had been off the air for a decade. In a wonderfully weird twist, Officer Toody, voiced by his original actor Joey Ross, is revealed to be Irma Boyle's brother-in-law. It was a strange, meta, and slightly surreal way to wrap up the series. A final surprising fact for a show that was full of them. Wait Till Your Father Gets Home was far more than a forgotten 70s cartoon. It was a trailblazer.
We just looked through the phone book, turned in every name that ended with ski. Sikorsky, Levitsky, Shievsky, the whole ski crowd.
It was Hanna-Barbera's risky attempt to prove animation could be smart, topical, and for grown-ups. From its creative link to All in the Family to its unique Playboy artist visuals, the show constantly broke new ground. It featured future stars and was never afraid to tackle divisive issues. Though it only ran for a couple of seasons, its influence can be seen in nearly every adult animated sitcom that followed, from The Simpsons to Family Guy. It was a perfect time capsule of a fascinating era, seen through the eyes of the wonderfully dysfunctional Boyle family.